Stop. स्क्रीन वो तुम्हारा ओपन है क्या? एक सेकेंड, किधर हो? पहले कौन सा है? कौन सा ये है ना? Good morning, members. We welcome you on the Sunday morning on a very important day. Today we are celebrating a rare day. But before we start our today's sessions, we request all the members to rise on their seat while we play our institute motto song.
य एष सुप्तेषु जागृति य एष सुप्तेषु जागृति कामं 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 कामंशो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनाद्यपि कश्चन एतद्द्वैता 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 एतद्द्वैता.
We request members to please rise on the seat while we play our national.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, members. Today we are going to celebrate our rare day, and when we are discussing or when we have the thought of the RERA, the first name in our CA fraternity, the first name, what it comes in our mind is our today's eminent speaker, CA Ramesh Prabhu sir. And with CA Ramesh Prabhu, the equivalent eminent speaker, CA Aditya Jayanta sir. So when we approach him, I think few months back, yes sir, we are planning to celebrate the RERA at our JP Nagar CPA study circle. And without giving the second thought, they immediately said, you please book the date and we are going to be there and we are going to take the sessions on the RERA. So today, members, today, both the faculty, they are going to cover up the most of the things in the RERA. From the recent judgments, professional opportunities, compliance, latest amendments and all. So what is RERA and why RERA? To start with that subject, we all know that the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016 was passed in Maharashtra. And Maharashtra was the first state who took immediate steps to bring the RERA into the picture, to protect the interest of the allottees and ensure their responsibilities, to maintain the transparency and reduce the chances of the fraud, to implement the Pan India standardization, and to bring about the professionalism in that particular sector, to enhance the flow of the correct information between the buyers and the sellers, and to impose the greater responsibilities both on the builders and the investors, and to enhance the reliability of this sector, thereby to increase the confidence among the investors. But to give something in detail insights on this subject topics, we having two of our eminent speakers. So we welcome both the speaker with a round applause. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and that too on Sunday and very early morning. So we are really proud to have such kind of speakers. And now to introduce our both the speaker, I would like to invite our core group member, Sri Ankush Gupta. Sir, if you can come down and introduce the today's eminent speakers.
Very good morning to everyone. Thank you, Judge by Convener. As our convener rightly said, RERA, Housing Society, and our eminent speaker, all these three names always come parallel. And as such, our eminent speaker doesn't need any introduction. But sir, a small formality has to be done. So I'll give a very brief introduction about the sir because everyone knows him. So he doesn't need any, big introduction or anything. So CA Ramesh Prabhu sir is a practicing chartered accountant and CISA USA qualified with experience of more than 3 decades, whose opinion is sought on various laws and issues, particularly in RERA and cooperative societies. He is a partner in RS Prabhu and Associates Chartered Accountant Firm, and he is also a chairman of Maharashtra Societies Welfare Association. He is a regular faculty with Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and he has addressed number of seminars and webinars organized by WIRC, ICAI, government departments, everywhere, newspaper, everywhere. He is the author of more than 40 books on issues like conveyance, transfer of flats, parking, collection of dues, means anything regarding society, RERA, so he is there. Ramesh Prabhu sir is always there. Sir, with this small brief introduction, I would like to welcome you with a huge round of applause from everyone. And our this session will be a joint session. It will not be one-on-one session. So I would take the opportunity of introducing the second speaker also. This is very few time when a single person gets the opportunity of introducing both the eminent speakers. So our second parallel eminent speaker is CA Aditya, and he is a FCA and a DISA. He is a partner in 2 firms. He's a experience of 7 years and partner in 2 firms, Zente and Company and AKORD and Company. He specializes in the area of RERA advisory and compliances, bank audits, stock audit, tax audit, GST for real estate, project accounting and assurance, advisory services, outsource accounting, and corporate law. He has handled litigation matters before VAT authorities, anti-evasion authorities in service tax, and before Maharera authorities. He has raised concerns of chartered accountants issuing Form 5 during pandemic through representation of Maharera. With this small introduction, I would like to welcome sir with a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Our eminent speakers, so I would like to call our immediate past eminent Sri Krishna Kumar sir to present our now looking over to the speaker, Sri Ramesh. I would like to invite our members to come on for India.
Adi.
Thank you, sir.
Green one. इसका बटन स्लाइड को चेंज करना कोई हटा देता है एक स्लाइड इसलिए
CA Jesh convener, deputy convener, the second RERA study group convener, Kamal Bagaria, and immediate past convener of Krishna Kumar, and all my colleagues, seniors, and of course, I welcome each one of you. And at the outset, I really thank Jagin. What we are doing today, and what we discussed with the conveners, that we will be having. So that to start with, I would like to ask few questions to you. How many of you are hearing the RERA lecture first time? Quite few of you. Which means now, having said this, now let me ask some of the expectations from you, because now you are spending your Sunday morning 4 hours. That you are expecting from us, and what are so you can just start raising your questions, standing there or sitting there. So my co-speaker Aditya will try to touch upon each of the questions so that your questions, what you are expected, is not missed out. Otherwise, I can tell you, we have written a book, both of us, along with us, another 100 people came together. To the WRC, we have come out with the Maharashtra RERA Law and Practice. These are 1,700 pages, 72 chapters, and such a voluminous book published by Taxman. If you at all want to practice RERA, I think subscribe to that book, because that has given all the basics of the law, especially real estate law, from central to state and the local one. So, any questions? Yeah.
Throw some light on new forms that
Okay.
the secure loans and secure loans.
Okay.
And
About the new forms, that is Maharashtra, after the experience of nearly 5 years, thought it fit that the form number 3, which is a certificate, and form number 5 for the annual audit, has been completely changed. That it starts with the means of finance, compliance of that, deviation of that, and it has given a separate schedule as to the various observations that you have done, either during the withdrawal and also during the audit. Aditya will be
deliberating on that. Maybe nearly 1 hour we'll be spending on that.
Last 2-3 years. This year, estimates have changed again.
Huh?
Estimates, cost have changed again. So how can we merge those new costs, new estimates?
Okay. Can the estimate be incorporated or revised? How can the changes be effected? What we talking about revising estimate, at the time of starting a project, the RERA expects promoter to estimate the cost of land, estimate the cost of construction, which will be in all the abilities. So due to the certain escalation in the cost, possibly during the implementation or maybe addition in some of the project land amendment, there can be revision in the estimates. So can that revision in the estimate is possible? If it is possible, how that revision can be incorporated and yeah. That's correct.
So I happened to get a. So I was interested to know if any amendments have happened recently, last 1 year. Not much in news, or maybe you might be definitely aware of.
One at Navi Mumbai, Institute of Company Secretaries, and second is the unit 4 o'clock on RERA. So daily 1 or 2 programs are on. So the latest amendment. Self-development, self-construction of one house, isn't it?
It's a building, family building.
Family building, okay. Construction of the family building, yes.
How to ensure timely completion?
How to ensure timely completion? Or even allottees, okay. How to ensure timely completion of the project by the promoter as well as by the allottee and by the regulator, all three people. Okay. How to ensure the timely completion of the project by the promoter, allottee, and the authority. Okay, good. When a promoter registers the projects with RERA, because before selling a single unit, even marketing, launching a project, the promoter is required to submit all the details of the project which means land title, approval, everything is in place. Then they give the RERA registration number. Given by the promoter, what will be the completion of the project? So, this question is very simple. Can this date of completion be extended by the promoter? And if it is yes, how many times and how long? Okay. Extension of the project registration. Yeah. देश को मौका देंगे, उन्होंने मुझे बुलाया.
So my question is, we are going to talk.
Don't worry about your professional opportunity. Naturally, professional opportunity is the topic. But let me tell you, whenever any law comes, the most important thing for any person trying to help that implementation of the law, none other than the people or the professions. Now the question arises, whether this law, does it applicable to chartered accountant? Can they make a part of the profession? The simple answer is, it is change the way our clients are going to do the business. It require any type of consultancy from a chartered accountant? If yes, a clientele who may be a promoter, contractor, landowner, or I have a client who is buying a property, by selling a property, wants to save the capital gain. That means whether I am going to help any of the individual clients in buying a real estate property, whether it's a residential or commercial, if then where I respond. So the first and foremost thing is the consultancy that I can give it to my client who may be an authority, who may be it may be architect, engineer. Ask me, yes, each one estate practice one or the other way, whether to file the income tax return or to do the accounting or to give at least give to our friends, relatives, and the clients. We are also eager to give free advice. And the expectation of the clients is such that we as a chartered accountant should be knowing all the laws under this, all the laws that is going to be implemented by the government. So therefore, at least we need to meet some level of expectation to them. So therefore, this is there as a part of consultancy. Second, very importantly, the moment law comes, it say the present government. I'm not saying that I'm a part of BJP or Congress or any political party, but we have realized this government, that is 2014 onwards, the compliance has been a central point of commitment. Whether it is a income compliance, GST compliance, or then there is a lot of penal consequences. So, what are the compliances that is required to be done under the RERA? And whether as a chartered accountant, are we given any, the way chartered accountants are given a place in the income tax act. Chartered accountants are given a place in GST law, carry out the audit, but today that is withdrawn. But as a initially, because the level of programs and the now whether their name is there or not, chartered accountants have become an expert in the GST compliance. So therefore, same way, not at one place, at number of places, the chartered accountants roles have been defined. It is defined to such an extent that from the inception of the project, that is the registration of the project, and more or less, the role of a chartered accountants are included in RERA. So if that is there, I was just talking to Kamal Bagareji in the morning. I asked him, are you involved in the RERA practice? He said yes. With that, so I said yes. You have development plan. Yes, I have sufficient development plans. So are you taking compliance? Yes, I am taking compliance. Are you taking litigation? Yes, I am taking litigation. How you are taking litigation? He said, Mr. Prabhu, I am not that well versed with the litigation, but with people who are Very good. So, real estate appraisal. So you have started with the networking. Then do you do the audit? Yes. Certification. If you are giving a withdrawal certification, you cannot do that. Mr. Prabhu, how can you not remember? I got my colleague who is a chartered accountant and I am giving the audit to him. So another network practice. And whatever certification he is doing, that audit he is giving to me. We are interacting and doing vice versa. So that is networking practice which I have done. So therefore I got interest. Though I am at Andheri West, I am a member of Andheri Osiyora Study Circle. I thought I should come here and understand better now. So that how can I build practice further into it? So it gives you consultancy, it gives you compliance, it gives you network practice. Then the next, we are expert in audit, bread and butter. So the RERA expects us to do the audit also. So therefore, even audit is there. So if I'm looking for audit, I'm there. If I'm looking at consultancy, I'm there. If I'm looking at networking, yes, I'm there. So this way, you are withdrawal certificate, yes, you are there. So the RERA, and as I said, giving consultancy to any of your clients.
Is it RERA applicable to redevelopment projects? Types of the existing member in it, if any?
Impact of RERA on redevelopment and rights of the existing allotments. Existing members, sorry. Redevelopment, yeah, rights of existing members.
My question is that as for the property which is delayed by the developer, and if any, it's to be paid to the consumer, and what would be the tax effect on the interest paid on that?
Okay. Vital question. First is, what are the circumstances under which I can withdraw from the project? Next, withdrawal of the project. Second, withdraw from the project. Second, whether any interest and compensation available. And third is impact on taxation. Taxation impact. Yeah, anything else? Yeah.
How to protect the rights of the landowner? Because I want to go in a JV, 50% JVs. So, how to protect myself? Because developer, he is selling their project and all these things, and he has also taken a loan. Now, protection of myself.
So,
Random.
RERA. Or what are the liabilities of a landowner under RERA? How to protect the landowner? Stroke liabilities under RERA. Okay. And liabilities and obligations under RERA. Both. Liabilities and obligations. Yeah. Yeah.
It was referred to you by me only, and not taking cognizance in the matter. The simple is when RERA was made applicable, the project was going on, and many people have purchased the office units. But the builder has not regularly registered for the RERA authorities. They have not given the judgment which is favorable, and stating that we can't take cognizance since the builder. But there are the provisions in the law which say or are you aware any other decision has come in this RERA after subsequent to what your opinion in that matter? This question is very simple. Whether the project, which is an ongoing project, where the project is not completed, okay, whether it requires registration, and if it is required registration, what is the action to be taken? Second, and after taking that action, whether we can compel them to register the project. If not, how can we compel those promoters to get the project completed? Unfortunately, because he was talking about handing over the case to me, and that also he was saying that we are lost, then it makes me more alert. And I need to tell you, yes, he did refer a case. The problem and the issues and the challenges that the allottees are facing is that they spend crores of rupees on buying a flat or an office. When it comes to litigation, they expect the result to be done in shortest possible time. And unfortunately, rightly or wrongly, in the beginning of the law, the regulatory authority do commit some mistake. And therefore, there is something called appellate tribunal. I did advise my client, referred by, of course, Kamal Bagaria, that your client requires to go to appellate tribunal. Unfortunately, he said, we are lost now. So let's say dead end. So I don't have any further hopes. And I have spent about 12 to 13 years back, crores of rupees. Now I don't see any way of hope. I have given your fees now. I have got the rejection order. So I don't intend to go further. Now, if you have accepted defeat, then what we can do? So the matter has gone to the appellate tribunal, which has not gone. But let me tell you. But now the matter is still under trial. Okay. Yes. Not happy with my service, so he has gone to another. One of the other members, the member decided not to go and appeal. No, I just kidding. So the question is, yes, they are on in the appeal is getting tried. But let me tell you, a similar matter went up to Supreme Court. The matter went up to Supreme Court. And today, let me tell you, more than 10 to 12 judgments of Supreme Court has come out. Each of the law points are getting crystallized. It's a new baby which is taking a daily step, weekly step, and is in the building of its own character. And yes, there are some pitfalls, there are certain things which are happening. Now the law is getting settled. So the Supreme Court has held on 11th of November. As latest as 6 months back, that a project which does not have a completion certificate, is considered as an ongoing project that requires compulsory registration. Such projects will have a retroactive effect. What do you mean by retroactive effect? You have heard about retrospective. Did we not hear the retrospective? What is retrospective? Retrospective is a law or an enactment. A particular provision is given or correct effective from a back date, previous date, correct? Maybe 1 year, 6 months. What is retroactive? Can anyone tell me? Supreme Court said ongoing projects or a project which does not have a completion certificate requires retroactive effect. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by retroactive effect? Before the inception of the law, if something is going to give an effect before the inception of the law, that means it is retrospective. Something, suppose 1st May 2017 the law comes, and I am saying
The law will be effective from 1st May 2015. That means I am giving a retrospective effect. That is what we have got. But Supreme Court says retroactive. Can anyone tell me? The action is still active. Yes, you are nearing to retroactive. Yeah. Anybody else?
So the developer is not registered, the law will be applicable to him.
Okay.
Since the project is not completed, then when the law came, retrospectively, law was not there on that particular day, but the project was there. So project it will become active for that particular project since it is not up.
Excellent. That means the Supreme Court has clarified. Even the Honorable High Court has clarified in the judgment of 330 page. We call it as a celebrity judgment. I'll discuss that. The Supreme Court said the project which has got a completion certificate has complied with everything of the law, and therefore they are out of the ambit of RERA, and therefore the law is not having a retrospective effect. However, there is a project which was started out 10 years back, 6 years back, 3 years back. But does that project got a completion certificate? If that has not got a completion certificate, which means it's an ongoing project, and because it's an ongoing project, then what I need to do? I need to register that project with the RERA. The moment I register with the RERA, that project which is registered with RERA will have from the day the project has been commenced. Are you with me? That means the project, the day it gets registered with RERA, that means they accept the provisions of the RERA. Any action that is taken by the promoter in respect of that project becomes active under RERA, and that will have a retroactive effect. I was handling about 35 clients of one of the biggest projects. Each flat is costing about 15 to 20 crore and Vadala Dadar. I'll tell you the name of the company also because it's in the public domain. Bombay Dyeing Manufacturing Company, which is called ICIC Tower 1, ICIC Tower 2, with 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, you must be knowing. And these are all reported cases. Unfortunately, the chairman gave a judgment that there are 520 flats and the project is under the completion. And even if the project is registered, the action which was taken earlier based on the prospectus cannot be relied upon. And I am going by what is written in the RERA website. And if it is there in the RERA website, I will consider it. If it is not there in the RERA website, I will not consider. We dismiss the complaint. Again, the complaint was handled by me. Now, what was the issue in the Bombay Dyeing case? Very simple. In the prospectus, it is given ICICI Tower, ICICI 2 tower with have independent towers, independent clubhouse, and with the lot of lavish amenities with Italian marble, this, that, important, everything is important. Okay. Now, question is, the date of question also was mentioned, December 2017. Everything was there in the RERA prospectus. Sorry, brochure. No agreement, brochure. Now, the question is, when they got registered with RERA, the project changed the plan at least 10 times. The date of positioning as against December 2017, they said December 2018, and then extended up to August 2019. And the amenities which are set in the agreement or prospectus are never to be seen. The ICICI Tower, ICICI 2 Tower club together, and the high-rise building was lower, and podium was mixed, and all the amenities are mixed. So what was promised and what was the show flag? and what is delivered completely changed. And when we went to the RERA, they said, where you are? This was old brochure, and in the brochure we have written disclaimer. It is subject to change this that and all. Matter went to, sir, they have not left my clients. They went to appellate tribunal. Appellate tribunal matter went on nearly for 2 years. And believe me, I don't know what happened. The appellate tribunal was not in a position to pass the order in a required time frame. Then what was my job? My job was to bring out in the media. I went to media. I said the project of Bombay Line, where the RERA check does like this, it was reported in media and other. In the media, we highlighted that in spite of close for order, the authorities of the appellate tribunal is not passing the order. And people are still waiting for the order to come out. And then immediately after 8 days, the order came out. Believe me, such an excellent order that what was agreed upon, they referred to, Nilkamal judgment of 330 pages of Bombay High Court, and they said everything is fine. And they granted refund of the money paid, the interest for the money, and 520 flats, बनना है तो बनेगा, नहीं बनना है तो नहीं बनेगा. We are concerned the question of law. And the moment the Honorable Supreme High Court has given that it has a retroactive effect, what has been committed earlier need to be delivered even after the project is registered with RERA. And since he has not written in the RERA website that these are not going to be delivered, that shows that he has walked out of his commitment. Did the matter stop there? He asked that, okay, then give us a time once again to matter be refunded to RERA, so that we will give our submission. We were not heard properly by Gautam Chatterjee, RERA chairman. So he said nothing doing. The awardees are not here to run pillar to post. Authority, I will find the facts and I will record the facts. He recorded the facts and then he granted the interest, refund, compensation, everything. Now the matter went to the matter went to Honorable High Court. Honorable High Court also heard the matter, decided each of the question of the law, and they also came out with 30-35 pages judgment. Every wording that is being said by appellate tribunal was upheld. Did Bombay Line keep quiet? The allottees, fortunately, who had purchased flats of 10 to 15 crore, who had already put 3 to 4 crore in the project, wanted their money back after 10 years with the interest of another equivalent amount. And they were in a position to defend the matter in appeal and go in the High Court. And then the matter went to Supreme Court. The matter which was handled by me, matter went to Supreme Court. And the Honorable Supreme Court in the first hearing itself, session petition. And it is said, the Supreme Court said in the order, we do not find it need to be intervened. The question is, the allottees sometimes find it very difficult understanding the legal system, and they take a backseat, and then we say that RERA or the law is justice will be. Justice is not denied, but of course delayed. Yeah. So coming to the point, law is getting settled. Yes, you are. I had one basic question. The moment we started, so I want to ask one basic question. After this RERA has come into existence, so what are the benefits the buyer or the investor incorporated in that? What are the benefits of the allotments? Benefits of the allotments. Yes, anything else?
Basically, RERA is whether both can be applicable.
law is applicable, RERA or MOPA. Any one or two questions will take, otherwise there is already warning come to me. Yeah, the extension we have taken. Now, agreement date and RERA registration date. Difference between agreement date and RERA registration.
Complaint, when and what's the timeline and where?
First question, is there a law of limitation? What is the cause of action? When a complaint can be filed? Correct? Yeah. When the complaint can be filed? वो सवाल आ रहा है। अभी ये देखो नहीं है व्हाइट
आपको तो इसमें काफी एक्सपीरियंस है और क्योंकि मैं थोड़ा सा हट करके लिटिगेशन के ऊपर क्वेश्चन करूंगा कि डेवलपर्स और किसी को किसी रीजन से समझो डेवलपर हटा के देश में नहीं जाता हूँ उसमें राइट्स क्रिएट हो गए रजिस्टर्ड एग्रीमेंट होगा सब कुछ रहता है के बावजूद भी या चेयरमैन का साथ जैसा आपने अभी कहा प्रीवियस में कर नहीं पाते हैं तो ये सब तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस होगा पर बीइंग ए सेपरेट स्टेटमेंट इन इटसेल्फ मेरे हिसाब से तो अगर रेरा का कोई भी डिसीजन आता है तो हाई कोर्ट को भी ओवररूल करता है सो फार आवर डिसीजंस आर कंसर्न और उसमें क्या होता है कि somebody will go to the high court and create some humbug there तो नॉर्मली चेयरमैन उसको ओवररूल नहीं करते हैं तो आपका उसके ऊपर लाइट मारिए
there is something called judicial discipline. What is the question of judicial discipline? The moment judicial discipline means if there is something in income tax we have covered in appellate tribunal and all we must have seen covered matter. Okay? So what it means is some precedent is created. Once the certain precedent is created, then naturally the precedent is going to binding on the lower court. So the regulatory authority is there. There is appellate tribunal. If the appellate tribunal has decided something, the RERA should abide by that as a judicial discipline. And then, of course, if the High Court has decided, then appellate tribunal as well as RERA should abide by that. And if the Supreme Court has decided, that becomes the law of the land, and that is becoming applicable. However, yes, you are right. Sometimes regulatory authorities do take the decision contrary to the precedents created, and they create further confusion and make the allot this person run pillar to post. But at the end of the day, if you want justice, then you have to fight. So these are all because of that, there are 4 layers in RERA. What are the 4 layers? One is authority, appellate tribunal, second appeal, first appeal is appellate tribunal, second appeal is High Court, and then of course under the constitution, SL. So this way there is a 4 layer. So lower may do mistake and go to second, then, but we have to fight with the system. Yeah.
Sir, last. Our site is 5 acres and building is consistent on. You convince of only building area. And secondly, can the builder have right on the terrace? For redevelopment, if some developer is appointed, how much time is to start the work?
That is not clear. Okay. So the layout conveys and holding certain rights, terrace rights, holding rights on the this one, and redevelopment by what time they should start. Okay, I will take the question later. Sir, 25 reminder आ चुका है. मेरे को next time बुलाएंगे नहीं.
Sir, in the project, normally it happens that the builders so what measures are to be taken by RERA?
Okay. The flats allotted on barter system. Correct?
Yeah, and the lenders also.
Yeah, barter or to the investors or to the financiers. Flats given on barter to the investors or to the
financer or lender.
The position of a flat buyer of a terminated developer.
एकदम controversy statement पूछ रहे हो. I don't have the answer for that. 17. There is the rights of the allottees in a terminated project or terminated development. Rights of the allottees in a project where the promoter has been terminated. Okay. Rights of the allottees to terminated project or terminated promoter. With this, we'll proceed. There is no space. Okay. Can single building, last question. Can a single building have multiple registration? Okay. With this, we'll proceed with the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a very simple slide. And unique features of data or real estate. These are the challenges. Because of this unique feature, these are the challenges. Long duration, high risk area. घर बना के देखो, शादी करके देखो, एक भी घर बनाना कितना मुश्किल होता है. Lot of issues. So he has to put a multiple people for multi-story building. High cost, startup cost. It's a labor intensive, and therefore it supporting more than 250. Whether it's steel, cement, supplier, you take up each other thing. Plywood, diverse amount of funds. This is another reason. Fund comes to the project and the fund diversified. Today you look at it, whether it is SBI, Nirmal Lifestyle, Raj Life Space, or we have many builders. Even today they are behind the bar. Why? Because of diversification of funds. Illiquid industry. Capital intensive है ना, पैसा कितना भी है तो कम है. And at the same time, the developers are very, promoters are very greedy, and they don't want to give up. One more project comes up, there also they want to grab because they feel that हाथ से निकल गया तो मेरा profit निकल जाए. So the greediness and illiquid nature, whether it's an infrastructure project, real estate project, or anything, there is always a delay. Lack of transparency. आपको फ्लैट देना है, आप इतना कैश पहला दो, इतना चेक का कमिटमेंट दो, उसके बाद हम एग्रीमेंट का कॉपी आपको शेयर करते हैं, डॉक्यूमेंट बाद में शेयर करते हैं. Never and never there was a transparency. Last is high level of uncertainty. So the law which was not there for last 70 years in India since the independence to regulate this sector, because this sector was dominated by the politicians, dominated by the high net worth individuals, and therefore they were not allowing this sector to be regulated that easily. Otherwise, the capital market was regulated long back, but this was not getting regulated, and all this uncertainty and distinct picture was required to be taken and so each of this unique nature in its own way to regulate. So how it has been done? We'll just go on here. From the general law, we are coming to the specialization. When I started my practice, I was doing, but as when I was getting further and I realized that this is my area of practice, specializing on that. It could be a house. Contract act. Contract act, we know, it's a general law, all type of contract. Then second level of specialization came in. What is that? Property. After 10 years. For immovable, Stamp Act came in, Registration Act came in. Then, of course, Corporate Society Act came in because multi-story building, if it has to be constructed, new one flat in a multi-story building, there was no law. So therefore, in South Mumbai, we have seen the parking system. What is parking system? Nothing but a landowner gets the money from the authorities or the people, construct the building, he takes the land cost, he takes the construction cost, and he takes it in the form of parking, that is premium. And then he gives 10 rupees CC. That is Barapon. And land title is in 10 रुपए का पावती हर महीने का देते होते कि आप अभी tenant हो. So they are covered under the tenancy law. So there was no law. So therefore, in Mumbai, in the year 1915, a group of Saraswat, they came together. They said, cannot we do a cooperative? Buy the land, construct the building, and allow the people. That is how the first cooperative housing society started in Mumbai. That is Saraswat Cooperative Society in the year 1915, under the Cooperative Society Act 1912. Then that cooperative movement started and ownership concept came. As the ownership concept was coming in, the contractor realized it was a business. The landowner realized it's a good business. Why not we ourselves, through the contractor, develop it and sell the individual back to the various people, and then to the society, and then after we give the conveyance. Therefore, Maharashtra came up with the first law, Maharashtra Ownership Act 1962. Thereafter, various state government enacted that. And therefore, there was a Consumer Protection Act where the obligations which are put by the consumer, promoter or the seller or manufacturer was not getting complied. So therefore, Consumer Protection Act came in to protect curative nature. Curative nature मतलब गलती किया हमारे ऊपर अन्याय हुआ, then we go to the consumer law or civil code or criminal law. So that's how the consumer protection came. And if you look at all this law, for a real estate construction company, is there any preventive possible? Is there any preventive measure taken? So there was no preventive measure. How can a preventive measure can come in? If some regulator gets into that sector, let us say saving, there's a preventive measure. Small investors are not now can be lured or they can be taken for a ride. Why? Because before you come with a public issue, you have to give a red prospectus, you have to get all the permissions, and only after that everything is same way. Why not in the real estate? We make the promoter to give all the information to RERA. RERA scrutinize everything from the title, from the approval, from the size of the plant, when it will be completed, what will be the agreement format, what will be the allotment format, what will be the amenities, how the conveyance will be given, when the association will be formed. All these obligations are captured by the authority in advance. Then what happens? Transparency is ensured. That is how the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act came in as a specialized law. Secondly, if this is prevented, this prevents, let us say 50%, still 50% people may commit some violation. For that, there is a curative measure. What is that? There is a regulatory authority. Now the question arises, is the as challenge the unique nature which we discussed? In addition to that, there are so many challenges which I don't have to read out. You can understand. Starting with demonetization, RERA, IP, GST, finance act, NBFC, liquidity. The entire investors are left with the market. Now it is more of a consumer oriented. The working of MOFA, Maharashtra Ownership Plan Act. Somebody asked me a question, MOFA and RERA. Just from the year 1963 until now, MOFA is there. The RERA, under section 88 of the RERA, is in. But I told you these are the laws. None of the laws is repealed by the RERA. This law still continues. Contract act continues, transfer of property act continues, everything continues. In addition to that, a specialized law is. I started my general practice. Do you mean to say I gave up my general practice? The answer is no. General practice is there. But in addition to my general practice, I have option. Would you like to get the accounting work done now, or would you like to handle the RERA litigation? Sir, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं, accounting आप मुझसे को दे दो. मेरे पास अभी टाइम नहीं, मेरा let me concentrate more. So I have got a overriding effect. Same way, RERA has got a overriding effect. Continues. So therefore, MOFA still continues. So the RERA will have an overriding effect. What the problem with MOFA was, there was a lack of enforcement. But there was no enforcement. That was the challenge. In RERA, now the enforcement has come through the regulator. It has come to the appellate tribunal, and that is how the RERA is working. Now you can take the next slide.
So basically, the functions of RERA. Here we have administrative, regulatory, judicial, executive, and advisory. So the overall functionality covers these aspects. And in case of administrative, somewhere you might have seen that the name of the act is not Regulation Real Estate Regulation Act. It is actually Real Estate Regulation and Development. But somewhere we are forgetting this word. It deals with section number 32, wherein RERA authorities need to advise the Central Advisory Council regarding suggestions for having certain single window scheme and such other measures which will lead to overall development of the real estate sector. And basically, we have seen that recently Supreme Court also is in the process of having a model agreement over entire India. But somewhere there is, restrictions or resilience from the states towards that. So your administrative part plays an important role in this particular sector. Then as a regulator, you can see this two sections. In this case, now recently also, they have come up with a different order itself, wherein instead of using the word suo moto every time when RERA authority used to take certain actions, then it was termed as suo moto. But somewhere, when it is regulating its own function, तो ये केस में हम लोग उसको सुओ मोटो नहीं बोल सकते। इसके लिए उन्होंने एक ऑर्डर अभी रिसेंटली 25 अप्रैल 2022 को आया कि अगर कोई भी इशू रिलेटिंग टू रेगुलेटरी फंक्शंस के रिलेटेड जैसे सेक्शन 3 या फिर कोई भी रेगुलेशन रिलेटेड कोई इशू है, देन दे केम आउट विद दिस ऑर्डर एंड इस ऑर्डर के हिसाब से नाउ यू हैव द अथॉरिटी एंड which will lead into adversarial litigation. So this would come as suo moto and then later actions can be taken. अगर project है वो register नहीं किया है and authority should enforce the directions and it should get the project registered. तो ये हिसाब से इस regulatory function related now we have got that order relating to this regulatory function.
1 minute. See, as we said, it has an administrative power. Even administrating the regulations, as he has rightly pointed out. And secondly, judicial. And something like preventing, having control over the project, control over the promoter, okay, and getting it regulated in a time-bound manner, in a systematic manner, in a professional manner, in a standardization format, and through the various regulatory, notifications from time to time. Then having a judicial by filing a complaint. So the complaints can be filed by any aggrieved person. It's nothing related to the RERA Act. He should make a complaint which is known as adversarial complaint, judicial. Then he has an advisory capacity, which he has said. Then whatever orders he passes, the RERA or appellate tribunal, that need to be, they themselves will implement, and the implementation also is taken by the RERA under the executive. Next one.
Yeah. So this section 40 is what they did when in the mutant promoter judgment also, wherein whether the RERA authority is having the authority to issue recovery certificate. And yes, that section somewhere it is created an ambiguous approach, but later on the Honorable Supreme Court decided that yes, we RERA authorities can issue a recovery certificate under executive power. Then, like I said, advisory role, section 32, RERA authorities should advise central advisory council regarding having a single window scheme or such other measures which would improve the overall functionality of the real estate sector. Like we have seen that even the land title insurance that is not yet been implemented by the states, considering the premium amount on those on the particular title insurance, because the developer can take the insurance, but later on it will be transferred. The premium liability will be transferred on the society. So in that case, considering the amount, somewhere this has not yet been properly implemented in the states, and many states are hesitant. So in future, we might get a proper regulation regarding that. And many, I think so, HDFC Ergo or some kind of insurance they were offering, but only till now 3 to 4 developers have opted for that land title insurance.
Sir, recently in Supertex, Supreme Court has held that home buyers have to go. They are not responsible for this. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, we'll handle that.
See, his question is, of course, you can ask because we were making it interactive. We have 4 hours with us, so let us make interactive. His question is very simple: the interplay of RERA and IBC. So, which will prevail? The IBC is a later law. The 1st May 2016, RERA got enacted. And implementation no doubt started from 1st May 2017. However, IBC got notified and implemented from December 2016. And Section 238 of the IBC says the IBC will supersede. Okay, is a code itself, and therefore the Supreme Court has said in number of judgments, including urban, pioneer urban versus Union of India, it has been said that if there is a order, conflicting order of RERA as well as NCLT, the NCLT will prevail. If there is, are you aware of surfacing? If there is a surfacing, okay, which is the earlier law, Securitization Act, versus RERA, which is a later law, which will prevail. Consumer Protection Act, and there is a RERA, which will prevail upon. Choice of the consumer to take up the remedy before any forum. You as a consumer code itself says it is in addition to existing remedy. It is a special statute created. Therefore, the Supreme Court has said that in additional remedy given, home with the promoter. Promoter का काम तक सता सकते हो. मैं आपको मजे के बात बोलता हूँ. बॉम्बे डाइंग का लास्ट अभी मैटर एप्लीकेशन में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डिसीजन, they were not giving, money to the awardees, and few more said, because I was there in the hearing, he was asking, sir, we are in the process of settlement, give us one more day. भाई आपको कोई भी हिसाब से अलॉट को निचोड़ना ही है, निचोड़ो जितना निचोड़ सकते हैं. These are the words, आपको जितना निचोड़ना है निचोड़ो, जितने भी उनसे कॉम्प्रोमाइज करो, बेचारे लोग हैं, लेकिन हम उनके लिए. So if you want to settle it in the next step, you settle, otherwise you are sure what we are going to do. So therefore, now the matter has settled in the Supreme Court. Surfacing prevails or RERA. Consumer Court prevails or RERA. IBC prevails or RERA. So in terms of the various laws has now been almost. No. The implementation of the yeah. It is not the amendment which is happening, the law, earlier law. Yeah.
Basically, I would like to add certain points also that in case of IBC also, it is a code, and every act you consider Income Tax Act or GST Act, they cannot be withstanding the other, and if this will prevail. So they came out with this code that will have a control over everything, and they gave a preferential treatment to all the creditors or the secured creditors or the bankers, and they gave a hierarchy of the companies into IBC, and at the bottom there are equity shareholders. So I haven't seen that in case of equity shareholder they have got anything in case of IBC. And recently EY released a report wherein out of 283 cases in IBC which went into IBC, only 4% are resolved till date. So we have this huge gap there. And in case of RERA also, you might have seen that more than 5,000 cases are still pending for orders, and the execution number is also to a different extent. So these certain things we have to wait and watch what will happen in future. But as considered to IBC, I believe that IBC is a code and it overrides everything, even in case of PNLA, wherein the illegal assets, illegal money, or illicit money, if you are buying the asset, then the ultimate proceeds will go to the government. Then government will decide what will happen. But IBC will prevail over. Coming on to the professional opportunities. अब यहाँ पे first opportunity, basic opportunity पे especially chartered accountant is real estate project registration. So यहाँ पे we have seen that many chartered accountants just consider did this कि ये document है अपने को upload करना है portal पे, that's it, and you have to get the registration certificate. See, getting a registration certificate, RERA has clarified right in the beginning that it is not, it is certified, it is only registered. People were in 3 to 4 years back, they were marketing like that, we are RERA certified. Then RERA clarified that getting a registration under RERA assure that you have produced proper documentation or you have produced a legitimate documentation. So there is no verification to that aspect whether the authenticity is there of the documents. But now, if you have seen, slowly they are starting such verification in detail. The case for registration goes through 4 desks, and at desk 2 we have seen a detailed verification being taken out, and this is resubmission. And I have seen a recent circular also, which is in pipeline, that considering the number of resubmissions are increasing, so it is bit hectic for them also to again and again give it for resubmission. So they might come out with certain amount of charges, basic 5,000 rupees for first resubmission if you are increasing the number of resubmissions. So here, while registering the real estate project, one should take a precaution. What is the sanction plan? People are not even seeing the sanction plan. So please, the layout, you have to verify the layout. What is written in that layout? Everything is given in the IOD, IOA, or the intimation of approval. Yes, sir. Yes, till now there are 3 sets of FAQs been released on the website, but recently they haven't released any FAQs. They are old FAQs, and most of the FAQs are being amended. I mean to say, whatever stand was given in that FAQs are now included in the rules, or by way of amendment they have included in the regulation. So most of the FAQs are now covered, but and certain FAQs are being clarified by the judgments of the High Court and Supreme Court. Yes, but now recently in 2 years we haven't seen any new FAQs being released on the. Yes, the registration changes are taken place recently. Also, we have seen that they have given a separate tab in case of Mumbai where wards are there. Then you just have to mention the reference file of the BNC, that is the IOD number or such kind of number, and you can directly fetch the details. So it is still, yes, directly. And the circular with respect to that, whatever changes are being made, they are slowly making the changes, and we are also expecting a new website for which they had been taking suggestions from the stakeholders, and in the month of June might be a new website we can see. Just to tell you,
the professional purchase registration starts with, of course, consultancy. In any of talking about, first is creating an awareness to the client and answering the question. So you have raised few questions. Which project requires to be registered? A project which has more than 8 units requires compulsory registration before market of project. So this is one. Secondly, the question came in whether the project having a multi-story building, same building can be registered twice, or the question is multiple registration, whether it is possible of the same project premises. A project once registered cannot be registered once again for the same project. Once again, it cannot be registered in the name of another promoter. For example, I register, say, I am a Laram Cooperative Society. I have given to Kamal Bagaria as a promoter, and here Laram Center project is now registered, and the same survey number, same building, 12-story building, perform well. So I, as a society, terminated him and appointed my another friend D. Now the question is, he goes there, Laram or something, and he registers the same. Well, now he is no more. He registers. In that case, the job would be first get this project cancelled by due process of law, and then go for the new registration with the new promoter. This is one. The second is get this project from this promoter transferred under section 15 of the RERA to the new promoter by applying the project, so that the name of the promoter can be changed from A to B. Are you with me? Now the question comes. I have for, can I register a project from ground floor to 15th floor, one project, calling it as building A, calling it as phase 1? The answer is yes. 16 to 20 or 16 to 30, another phase 2. 31 to, let us say, 54, phase 3. Am I entitled to do the answer? In that, there will be certain compliance required, separate audit required, separate bank account is required. Every what will happen to the conveyance? Such cases, the conveyance of the structure will. Now the question comes: Asuja allotment. Project wise, of course, it will happen. But again, if at all project wise it is happening, then naturally the conveyance of the structure will be given to those project association, and the entire layout conveyance will be given the apex point. So these are the things, yeah.
We will consider like separate. So whether IoT, CC and all the plan will be same for all the three.
The land will be the same. IoT will, same. Only commencement certificate will be different. And sanctioned, let us assume. Okay, IoT also has come, commencement also you have come, everything. Part occupation also. Part of the building also we can get the occupation. So therefore, this is possible. So the RERA registration, I think we have answered. Ongoing project, question number 10. Yes, ongoing, we have discussed in detail. If a project does not have a completion certificate, or for that matter, occupation certificate, still go and make a complaint, which is known as source complaint. Therefore, people went to High Court, Bombay High Court directed the RERA that you have to consider this complaint and hear the parties. Then they filed it as a source complaint. But the source complaint, in case there is no commencement certificate, the lapses, everything has happened. She said, in another case, the same chairman, present chairman, also makes an order saying that because IoT, CC, everything is left, the project has become stalled. So therefore, it cannot be registered. And this type of contrary judgments are also passed in the rely on the Supreme Court judgment of new text, which we'll discuss, and based on that, I think the applicable there's a penalty of 10% of the cost of the. Then there's a provision of imprisonment also, 3 years, or penalty, or both. So these are the things. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, we as professionals, we are having the opportunity of registration, then real estate agent registration. But here, in case of real estate agent, now they are going to come up with a certification course, considering the marketing aspect covered by these agents. So they have formed a committee to understand what certification can be given to real estate agents. So we will soon see these changes in our era. Uske baad, the main factor why which is responsible for our certification is the compliance and financial discipline which they are expecting from CA. So वहाँ पे withdrawal certificate and audit that will be covered by me in detail in next session. Complaint redressal, filing of complaints or appeals. Yes, under section 56, recently we have a judgment in the High Court, Gujarat High Court, that basically our CA, one of the member, he was not allowed to represent the respondent. If you read section 56, वहाँ पे लिखा है any appellant. But if a respondent want to appeal, file an appeal, then can we represent them? Whereas the advocate was allowed to represent at the tribunal, but the CA was not allowed. So now, with that judgment, the court said that it itself is illegal, and hence a word respondent or respondent is being added to the Gujarat High Court. So it will read as appellant or the respondent. Now, the regular update. Yes, the RERA is expecting a regular update in the financial progress of the real estate project. So they have introduced a quarterly progress reporting system, which is somewhere it is not yet live, but the existing portal itself should be used for updating these certificates because the order is in force. So we should keep on updating the certificates or whatever details they have asked for, and that will be covered by me. But here they are expecting a regular update, and this entire approach is consumer oriented. So it is towards what we can give to the ultimate buyers regarding that project, what he should know. So the entire exercise by RERA authorities is towards what buyers, when he's investing his hard-earned money into the project, what they are expecting. So that is the reason this entire RERA mechanism is quite transparent, which was highly, there were irregularities pre-RERA. So somewhat now buyers will understand that whether he is investing in that flat is already been sold to someone else, because there is a disclosure of sold, unsold inventory, which is a major breakthrough, wherein he will understand whether the flat which he is investing into, whether he is sold, it is sold to someone else, and it is certified by a chartered accountant also. So this is an important thing.
Is there any time limit for the updation of various details like?
Yeah, quarterly.
Yes.
Quarterly.
But I have seen some of the developers not updating it.
Yeah. You can make a complaint. Come and accuse. Now the question is, when you can file a complaint? They are doing. Sir, ऐसा है. Wait. The RERA is a new bill, and the first aim of the regulator, of any regulator for that matter, is to get more and more industry stakeholders into their fold. And therefore, Gautam Chandra, जितने लोगों को मेरे साथ आना है, प्यार मोहब्बत से उनको ले लिया. Out of 80,000 projects registered, out of 35,000 projects are only in Maharashtra. Maximum people enrolled, making everything online. So even the clerical of the staff can do the RERA registration. So that was the first. Now after 4 years or 5 years, now the rigid forms are brought. Are you getting my point? Now, if Gujarat, the compliance is so tough, everything is online. Even the RERA certification also, you have to certify through digitally on that. So it is so dynamic, nicely done. So anyhow, coming to the point, who complaint can be filed by anybody? That was a question. When the complaint can be filed? The complaint can be filed as and when the cause of action arises. What is the cause of action? As and when you are aggrieved. Normally, a person, let us say, thinks that by 31st December 2022, the position should be given as per the agreement. Say, we are in May 2022, but 22-story building. Can I file the complaint before RERA today? The answer is cause of action has not started. Cause of action? Possession date. The moment possession date lapses in my agreement, that is December 2022, thereafter I can file the complaint. Otherwise, it becomes a premature complaint. Everything has to be cause of action. Is there any law of limitation? The answer is law of limitation is not applicable. So, however, which according to me is wrong, but RERA has taken a stand, which also has been confirmed by the appellate tribunal. What do you mean RERA registration number lapses? That is not completed. And the project registration is not revived. According to them, the RERA registration is lapsed. Therefore, the complainants cannot file the complaint. Whole purpose is. Now, this is the stand taken by RERA. Now, why they have taken the stand? The taken a stand is because the moment registration lapses, the project gets vested the authority. Section 8, Section 7 of RERA says, on the revocation or lapsing of the project gets lapsed, the project gets vested with the authority. Now, who has to complete the project? It is an obligation of the authority to get the balance project completed. That's all fine. But does it mean the promoter who has committed and taken crores of rupees from the allottees can be made scot-free just because the project is left? According to me, it is completely ridiculous. It is wrong. The stand of the authority is not proper, but it will definitely be question of law will be decided shortly by the Honorable High Court or the Supreme Court. And therefore, according to me, the allottees have the right.
Because of the COVID and for the lockdown, the developers have got an extension of a year, and they have revised the completion date to June 22. Now that is also they have revised again to December 22. Now the completion date they are extending. Can I file a complaint for that?
Agreement, contract. It has nothing to do with the. See, there are two things. That is what we have written here. The difference between the agreement date and the RERA registration date. The rights of each other is established by an agreement. So therefore, what we have to see is the file. And the RERA registration, even if it is extended, that is between the promoter and the authority. That is because the moment lapses, the authority takes over the project. And the Honorable High Court saying that yes, the moment project lapses, because there was a lot of challenges at different high courts saying that our rights of the business is taken over. But the High Court said nothing doing. You have committed something to for extension. Somebody asked me what is the period of extension and the frequency. The maximum period that is allowed is 1 year under section 6. But Honorable High Court said, considering the situation, if the authority wants to give more time, yes, they can. But it does not mean that it will be. The reasonable time to complete the project is 3 years. So even if some of the agreements do not contain the date of agreement, the date of position in the agreement, in that case, Honorable Supreme Court said, this way the judgments are coming. The Honorable Supreme Court said, the reasonable time for completing any project is 3 years. Realistic. So this is how things. Okay, any other questions? From the date.
Sometimes allotment is earlier, then agreement is executed after 2 years also.
From the date of agreement. So, because that is from the date of agreement is date of allotment. Which one is that? First day.
So, from because of the COVID,
1 year extension is given.
so that then would be considered as part of the 1 year extension, or they can further extend.
No, the 1 year is
That would impact the compensation to the.
yeah, to that period, that 1 year get the compensation. Okay, go ahead.
That means automatically my contractual date is extended. Automatically my contractual date is also extended.
For the purpose of compensation. Then this is everybody knows. The COVID is something which has come once in 100 years.
Sir, in that case, the completion date was December 19, where COVID has not started.
Now, again, I'll tell you, suppose my date of completion is December. Okay. Now the RERA gives you an extension of 1 year. Say 2020, December 2020, by making an application. Then automatically it gets extended for 1 year. That means automatically another 1 year. Contract means agreement. Yeah. No. Union government gave 6 months.
Okay.
They said another 3 months. But however, second year they give it 6 months. 1 year. Okay. So these are the complaints and last one. The warning has come. In another 10 minutes, we have to time कम करते जाना. हाँ, रेरा में बढ़ा रहे हैं. Now we'll discuss in next 2 slides in 5 minutes what is the impact which has happened because of the business practice. Changes in the business practice. It is in months. What are the changes that has happened in the business process? And because change in the practice and change in the process, That's where we as a chartered accountant will have to interject, will have to guide them and see that they are aligning with the provisions of RERA, and we as a financial consultant can definitely guide them. Yeah. No more questions. 5 minutes. वाले क्या बात ठीक है या फटाफट 2-3 स्लाइड खत्म करो.
So, business practice first impact is registration of project. अब यहाँ पे एक तो ongoing projects जो at the inception of the act, which were not having completion certificate, they were used to register. Next is a new project. For new project, condition is before marketing or accepting any amount, you have to register it with the authority. The one more impact, registrar. The registration, they are asking before registration, they are asking your certificate. Even the banks before funding, they require a certificate. So this is the practice, and basically because of that, the developers, whenever there is a need of fund, and he is not having, rather he won't be able to register, register the flat or the unit. So here, this is the impact of the registration in case of the business, day-to-day business of the developer.
What is trying to say is agreement for sale cannot be registered if your project is not having a valid registration number. This is the decision taken by the Maharashtra government, and sub-registrar and the IGR has been advised accordingly in the month of August 2019. Yeah.
Next is disclosure of project status. So here we have to give the financial progress as well as the working progress of the project on the website. Financial progress, we started accountant certified through Form 3. So here basically they have included those relevant professionals such as architect, engineer and chartered accountant to handle both aspects. That is the technical specifications and observation and the financial discipline. So overall the entire project gets covered under the disclosure of project status. Next is utilization of funds. अब यहाँ पे ये जो 70% है, this play a major role that the amount collected from the allottees, उसको हम लोगों को 70 और 30 ये दो इसमें divide करना है, and the 70% should compulsorily be utilized for the project. So that is the mechanism followed. A separate account needs to be maintained as per the act, but they haven't mentioned the escrow account. But for the purpose of convenience, the banks are also offering master account, 70% account, and 30%, and automatically the amount gets divided. But many are under the misconception that this 30% can be utilized anywhere. No, we have other acts also. We have GST, we have income tax. So that amount can not be used for something which is not acceptable as a business expenditure. But yes, you can suppose the unsecured loan we have and you're charging interest, which a normal business practice is there in this particular project. So that is allowed, but RERA is concerned about 70% utilization. Next is promoters' responsibilities. Here, the impact.
I think we can take a break. Yeah. So we'll continue with this discussion, and then after we felicitate our central council members, then after we take off the RERA.
Promoters' responsibilities towards obtaining completion certificate, maintenance, formation of society, and most important in the conveyance deed. Because here the obligation of the promoter doesn't stop after obtaining OC, because they have issued an order, they have come up with an order wherein it is compulsory even after completion to update the status of conveyance of the property. So many promoters forget that, but yes, you have to upload that status also related to conveyance on the portal of MahaRERA. This is an important impact in case of the promoter's responsibilities. Next is registered agreement for sale. mandatory for accepting some more than 10% of the cost of apartment. अब यहाँ पे section 13 subsection 2 comes into role. So promoter is under obligation that he cannot accept more than 10% of the agreement value without registration, first registration of the agreement of sale. So this is an important obligation on the part of the promoter. Even if the buyer tries to give him ये अभी ले लो बाद में registration करते, but this section comes into picture. And recently I have seen a letter of Gujarat RERA to the chartered accountants that they have come up with the responsibility of independent auditors in their report. They have to mention the compliance of laws and regulations. That is SA 250. In that, he has to mention that whether the section 13 subsection 2 is being complied or not. Many misunderstood that form 5 जो है auditor का form, उसमें ये सब mention करें. No, the auditor scope remains the same. It is the duty of independent auditor to mention these points, whether the law and regulation, the statute is being complied or not. So many other relevant points that such as financial discipline, quarterly progress, this has to be mentioned in the independent auditors. Next is right and duties of allottees refund along with interest in case of delay, non-completion. So here the rights and duties have the allottees which were not having prior to this inception of the RERA. Now somewhere the process is getting streamlined after a lot of Supreme Court judgments and the High Court judgments we have seen. So certain points on which clarity was not there, now we are getting clarity under this act. Still it is evolving, and in future also we will see more such important updates relating to that project, and we will see even the grading of the developers in future. Next is consent of buyer for modification. The section 14 of the RERA Act deals with the consent of buyer for modification. So before making any modification in the layout, in the plan, we have to obtain the permission of the buyer. So we have to obtain the minimum permission of 51% of the buyer in case of the project. And here, the most important thing is they have come out with a format also. They have come out with a format that you have to obtain the permission flat wise, you have to mention the unit number, and you have to take the signature. But the most important requirement is the title of that format. Therein, they have mentioned that the project will be completion. We require an extension till date's date. So promoter needs to mention this on each page. नहीं तो क्या करेगा promoter sign दूसरे पेज पे लिखा और first page पे ही लिखा है up to completed up to. So that is the important requirement. On every page, the date should be mentioned with respect to completion of the project. So that is an important requirement in case of 42. And one more thing is they are now asking for extension this permission. So and any modification, even in case of the FSI 4 DC rule. So here also if any modification is there, then also he has to obtain the permission under section 40. Defect liability period. Till now we haven't seen the cases relating to this, but the defect liability period which is given in the RERA Act is 5 years from the completion of the project. We have 5 years defect liability period, and in future based on the quality assurance certificate, because here we have a quality assurance certificate of the engineer. So we might see the cases relating to certain workmanship or certain other quality in the project. This can be challenged, and after completion of the project, the defect liability period of the promoter remains for 5 years. Next is real estate agents. Real estate agents, somewhere there was no regulation to regulate this particular body, but now we have real estate agent proper mechanism, and a real estate agent cannot sell the project if his name is not, if his name and the number, registration number is not mentioned on the portal of the promoter. So that is an important, I mean to say, change in this particular RERA, because now the buyer will understand whether he is allowed to sell that or allowed to market that particular project. तो ये बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट चेंज है और उसके सारे डिटेल्स उसके रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर वहां पे दैट इज अ important change and this is the impact overall impact of the RERA in the normal business practice. The key impact areas that is the business process. We have a legal and regulatory compliance. The first one is project approvals, allotment letter, agreement for sale, conveyance deed, and quarterly project updates. So here we have a draft agreement for sale given in the model agreement that we call. Model agreement so in case of model agreement and allotment letter, they are also in the process of developing an allotment letter. Recently, we have received a draft allotment letter also, which is open for discussion with the promoter and the buyer's body. So here, in future, now in coming 2-3 months, we will see a allotment letter draft also uploaded on the portal of the RERA. Planning and designing, the project layout and plan, project specifications, development works. This needs to be mentioned on the website of the RERA, wherein we have to upload the proper sanction layout. It should be now in Mumbai we have digitally signed, but other areas we have physical sign. So we require to upload the blueprint of the layout. We require to upload the typical plans and all such plans on the portal. And once a document is uploaded on the RERA portal, it can never be deleted. So that is an important aspect in case of RERA portal. Sales and marketing, yes. Now this case sales, soft sales, pre-sales, marketing of project, advertisement and collaterals, project website, real estate agent. So everywhere it is compulsory to mention the project registration number. And at the start we have seen penalties, heavy penalties being charged to the developers for non-compliance of this. It amounted to 10 lakhs, starting from 10 lakhs to even 1 crore. And even I have seen 1,000 per day penalty for not properly adherence to the advertisement. So they cannot say that, yes, before registration I am marketing this. No, that business is not allowed. You have to first register before advertisement. That is the very important call in this particular sector. Finance and accounts, yes, cash flow planning and fund utilization. It is being streamlined. Even in Form 3, which we will take, we will see the means of finance which they are asking. Then revenue recognition. Now, revenue recognition, revenue recognition, we have guidance note, we have Ind AS, we have the AS9. So here we have the revenue recognition criteria based on the percentage completion or project completion method, whereas ICDS we deal with the project completion method. So such revenue recognition project wise is increasing day by day because we have seen GST and RERA. They are linking the term definition that is RERA project. So GST are asking a separate books of account for RERA, the real estate project, and even the GST and income tax. So everywhere we need to account for the real estate project and not for the entire company. If you of registering the project in phases, even 4 floors, even 1 building can be registered. So if you are taking if a particular area or particular building is been affected, then we don't have to take the permission of other buildings for any modification or any such violation of the rules. So here, if you are taking that benefit, then you have to maintain the books of accounts for that project separately. You cannot say that I have maintained the book for the entire company. No, at the time you have to give the maintenance calculation to the society for that particular project also. That has been given in the rules. Next is construction and quality. So here, timely project execution if you are seeing now the which projects which are starting in RERA and which completing in RERA, once the 1 year section 6, they are asking for the permission of the buyers. And so many promoters are hesitant to go to buyers for the permission, and that fear will let them to complete the project in time. Adherence with quality standards, we have a separate quality assurance certificate that is Form 2A in this particular RERA mechanism which we follow, which is issued by a qualified engineer. Adherence with project and amenity specifications. So RERA is of the view that all the changes which previous promoter carries out frequently should stop somewhere, and if there are changes, then it should not happen without the prior permission of the buyer. And then we have the defect liability period, obviously, because the quality assurance, even if the engineer is giving the quality assurance, और उसके बाद भी कुछ defect आ रहे construction में, then there is a fault, and overall somewhere there are lapses. So in future there might be disciplinary actions against the engineers. So overall, the key impact business areas and on the processes involved in this sector is because of RERA we have seen, and there are tremendous improvements which, as this sector was a highly irregularized sector, now it is completely been regularized in a proper way. We have labs projects, but those are relating to the ongoing projects. Now we will considerable development, and especially I have seen trying to complete these projects and have a great impact on these business processes with the latest release of the Swami Fund. If you consider the figure, the overall stress fund is of 25,000 crores, and they have till now completed 1,000. And in coming years, the target is to complete 1,50,000. So because of RERA, they have a trust, and the developers have achieved a credibility, because of which now they can, even though the criteria of stress fund is the project should be stressed. So your minimum 30% cost should be incurred. So even the project is stressed, but because of RERA, they have a credibility. The developers are getting credibility, and they are ready to invest that money into that.
Thank you, Aditya Bhai. So members will take a little pause over here today, since entire full 4 hour sessions we have on the RERA. And we all are since waiting for the breakfast also. But before we take the break, we have with us our own Central Council member, Vice Chairperson, GST and Indirect Tax Committee of ICI, none other than C. Umesh Bhai Sharma. So we'll welcome him with a round applause. We'll take his formal introduction, but let me take this opportunity to say, we all must have heard that Kar Niti. Umesh Bhai, please, if you can. We also recognize the presence of our regional council members here, Pinky Madam, and we also recognize the presence of our immediate past chairman, C. Manish Bhai Gadia. We also welcome Pinky Madam and the Manish Bhai. So that regarding that Kar Niti, we all have heard regarding the dialogues between the Krishna and the Arjuna. The face behind that dialogues is our C. Umesh Bhai Sharma, and today he is with us. So we are really proud. Today we are celebrating Sir RERA Day, and we have with us our eminent speakers here, Ramesh Prabhu sir and the C. Aditya Jayante sir. And we thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation. So to now formally introduce our Central Council member, Shri Umesh Sharma, I would like to invite our own Regional Council member, C. Pinky Kedia Madam. If you can just introduce our today's.
but at that time corona period was there and we saw him virtually. So today we got the opportunity to invite him face to face भी नहीं देख लें, but ये हम ये invite करेंगे फिर मेरा केस हमसे
So please. Good morning and very good morning to all the Kohinoors of JB Nagar Study Circle. 17 साल से ये स्टडी सर्कल चल रहा है और हर बार बेस्ट अवार्ड इसको मिलता है। तो अब पता चला कि क्यों मिलता है, क्योंकि कोहिनूर इज द बेस्ट, इट इज द रेयर, एंड टुडे आई गॉट द रेयर अपॉर्चुनिटी टू इंटरेक्ट विद यू ऑल। और ये रेयर अपॉर्चुनिटी भी सही में मेरे लिए भी रेयर है, क्योंकि मैं अहमदाबाद से सवेरे निकला, 10 बजे यहाँ पे लैंड किया, मेरे पास में 2 घंटे थे, तो बॉम्बे आना और मनीष भैया को फोन नहीं करना इज वेरी रेयर। तो मैंने उनको फोन किया, तो ये सेड टू यू कम टू जेबी नगर स्टडी सर्कल। मतलब आई विल हैप्पीली कम, क्योंकि भैया से भी मुलाकात होगी, सबसे मुलाकात होगी। एंड देन कमिंग टू दिस लोकेशन, फाइंडिंग द रेयरेस्ट स्पीकर रमेश प्रभु सर, जिनके नाम में ही प्रभु है, और इनकी दया दृष्टि सब पे रहेगी तो सारे रेरा के प्रोजेक्ट्स अच्छी तरीके से होंगे। सो ही इज द रेयरेस्ट स्पीकर एंड अलोंग विद हिम आदित्य इज देयर। आदित्य मीन्स सन, उसके नॉलेज की किरणें हमको मिल रही है, तो उससे हमारे जिंदगी में भी उजाला होगा। थैंक्स टू जयेश भाई, पहले वर्चुअली भी आपने बुलाया था मुझे at the time of Maharashtra amnesty scheme in last week, I think so. Now today physically we will meet regularly. We had gone to Commissioner of Maharashtra State along with Jayesh Bhai, Manish Bhai. We are publishing a book on 18th. WIRC is publishing the book on MVAT settlement scheme, and Commissioner is going to publish that book. And why we are doing this? Yesterday we met Commissioner of GST also, Gujarat State. We already completed training of MP government. Now we completed Bihar government officers training. Then Odisha government training is also going to be there. We are meeting to all the commissioners and giving training to the officers under the GST committee. I am the vice chairman. तो हम ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, उसके पीछे बहुत मेंबर्स ने पूछा है, आप उनको क्यों नॉलेज इंपार्ट कर रहे हैं, वो हमको भी तकलीफ देंगे। बट फ्रेंड्स, सीनियर्स एंड ऑल माय प्रोफेशनल कलीग्स, वन ऑफ द एजेंडा ऑफ ICA वाज लाइसेंसिंग विद द गवर्नमेंट। जो पीछे CA अमेंडमेंट एक्ट आई, जो पिछला हमने देखा कि हमारी कहीं ना कहीं लाइसेंसिंग कम पड़ रही है, तो हमने ये सोचा कि हर कमिटी, इंस्टीट्यूट कमिटी से चलती है, 62 कमिटीज है, तो GST कमिटी को भी एक एजेंडा मिला कि आप भी डिपार्टमेंट के साथ अपना अपना एक नेटवर्क बनाओ। तो हमने ये सोचा कि हम जो भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है, उनका जो स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट है GST का, उनको हम नॉलेज इंपार्ट करेंगे। इससे 2 फायदे होंगे। एक तो वो कमिश्नर के साथ में हमारी एक एकेडमिकल पार्टनरशिप बनेगी। ऑफिसर्स जो अलग डिवीजन से आते हैं, कोई फॉरेस्ट से आता है, कोई लेबर लॉ से आता है, और उसको अचानक GST करना पड़ता है, तो उनके सामने हम इंस्टीट्यूट जाएंगे तो उनको अपने बारे में एक ये रहेगा कि इन्होंने हमको एक नॉलेज हैंड होल्डिंग की है। रही बात हमारे प्रैक्टिस पे इसका क्या असर होगा, GST ऑडिट चला गया तो अब हम भी कंसल्टेंट रह गए एज कंपेयर टू अदर कंसल्टेंट, एडवोकेट्स, टैक्स कंसल्टेंट एंड CS। हम भी डिपार्टमेंट में जाते हैं तो डिपार्टमेंट के सामने ये 3 प्रकार के प्रोफेशन आते हैं।
तो हमारा प्रोफेशन वहां पे प्रायोरिटाइज होगा, हमारे प्रोफेशन को एकेडमिकल वहां पर रिकॉग्निशन और भी मिलेगा, क्योंकि उस ऑफिसर को हमने कहीं ना कहीं ट्रेनिंग दी गई है। तो ये डुअल एस्पेक्ट से पूरे इंडिया में हम जा रहे हैं और हर स्टेट्स के साथ में हर कमिश्नर को मिल के ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं। महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट इज, महाराष्ट्र स्टेट मिनिस्टर कमिश्नर इज पॉजिटिव, 18 को वो प्रोग्राम फाइनल होगा। जीएसटी के जो गुजरात के कमिश्नर है वो भी बहुत पॉजिटिव है, बहुत खुश हुए। साथ साथ में स्पेशल ऑडिट की केसेस आ रही है, क्योंकि अभी 17, 18, 18, 19, 20 के जीएसटी के नोटिस आपको आए होंगे, ऑडिट्स आए हैं, फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट्स भी उसमें आ रहे हैं। उसको एम्पैनलमेंट को प्रोसीजराइज करने का काम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ हम कर रहे हैं। गुजरात ने ऑलरेडी मैंडेट दे दिया है, महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट भी, महाराष्ट्र स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट भी मैंडेट दे रहा है, एमपी के साथ में तो ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं। सो फ्रॉम दैट एंगल वी आर डेवलपिंग structure where we will be a knowledge partner with the state GST department of each state in India. So that is our mandate. Then WIRC is publishing the book. Thanks to our RCM, Pinky, and his team. One more work is there with Pinky, Kidia ma'am. Capital markets. You are the chairman of the committee and I am the vice chairman of that committee. So I will be working under you in WIRC. So we should plan a big program of capital market. Yesterday we met Jitu Bhai of Gandhi Dham, the person who knows the capital markets in our CA fraternity very well. He also said that we will have a very good conclave on capital market in Mumbai. So the responsibility lies on Pinky ma'am to take this project forward, and we will be party to that. Then the third committee with me is research committee. पहले बड़ा अजीब तरीके से रिसर्च होता था, डोंट टेक इट अदरवाइज, आई एम जस्ट एक तुम्हारे को एक मेरी भावनाओं को समझो, मेरी भाषा पे मत जाओ, ये मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, क्योंकि ना तो मेरी हिंदी अच्छी है, ना मराठी, ना इंग्लिश, बट मेरी भावनाओं को आप समझो। पहले रिसर्च ऐसा होता था कि इंस्टीट्यूट डिफाइन करती थी प्रोजेक्ट, फिर वो रीजन को देती थी, फिर वो ब्रांचेस को जाता था और फिर मेंबर्स उसके ऊपर करते थे, और फिर उसमें से हम गवर्नमेंट्स को वो रिसर्च के टॉपिक्स और उसके प्रोजेक्ट्स हम देते थे, पेपर बुकलेट। अब इस बार हमने उल्टा कर दिया, हम पहले गवर्नमेंट को लिख दिए, सारे मिनिस्ट्रीज को लिख दिया कि इंस्टीट्यूट इज अ रिसर्च बॉडी, वी हैव अ वेरी गुड रिसर्च मैकेनिज्म, प्लीज लेट अस नो। यस, वेलकम
WRC Secretary Shweta Madam, Shweta Jain, and also the Vikas Chairman, Ketan Bhai Saiya, we welcome you with a round of applause.
Yes. Queens of our WIRC, Shweta ma'am and Ketan Bhai. So in the research, we have went to ministry से हमको प्रोजेक्ट्स आए, और मिनिस्ट्री इतनी खुश हुई है कि 5 मिनिस्ट्रीज ने हमको बुलाया, इंस्टीट्यूट की मशीनरी वहां गई, सेक्रेटरी गए, हम गए, अनुज गोयल जी गए, वहां से हमको मैंडेट आया है नाउ वी आर हैंड टू हैंड विद नीति आयोग। और ये देखने के बाद पता चल रहा है कि गवर्नमेंट कितने आगे का सोच रही है, हम कितने पीछे हैं। दे आर हैविंग लॉट्स ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट टू डू बिकॉज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन। 2017 में इंडिया लगभग 70वें या 80वें नंबर पे था ऑफ यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी इन गवर्नमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स। नाउ इट इज इन टॉप 10 इन वर्ल्ड। और उनके पास में जो आगे के प्रोजेक्ट्स वो कर रहे हैं, जो देख रहे हैं, जैसे अभी हमने यूपीआई देखा, हमने डिजिटल बैंकिंग हम आगे देख रहे हैं, हमने आधार का इंटीग्रेशन देखा, जीएसटी का पूरा जो सेटअप है ये टेक्नोलॉजी बेस, इनकम टैक्स का टेक्नोलॉजी बेस। तो अब ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स हम जीएसटी में फेस कर रहे हैं ना, कि रेसिपिएंट ने आईटीसी नहीं मिलेगा रेसिपिएंट को क्योंकि सप्लायर ने फ्लॉ किया है, तो ये सारी चीजों को भी अब वो कैसे मिटिगेट करना चाह रहे हैं। दे आर मेकिंग अ नेटवर्क ऑफ लाइक Amazon and Flipkart. It will be a unified digital network for all the businessmen and professionals and everybody who want to do the business they should go and register themselves as a supplier of the goods, supplier of the services. वहीं पे उनका पूरा लेखा जोखा रखा जाएगा और उनका कैटेगराइजेशन होगा, और उनसे जो भी गुड्स और सर्विसेज लेगा उनकी प्रायोरिटी और उनकी क्रेडिबिलिटी और उनकी स्टैंडिंग वहां से नेटवर्क से संभाली जाएगी, और वो धीरे 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 इंडियन बिजनेसमैन को हेल्प करेगा टू फाइट विद अमेजॉन और फ्लिपकार्ट। तो देहात के लोगों को भी इसमें फायदा है, मेट्रो के भी है, अर्बन के भी है, सभी को फायदा है। तो इस लेवल में आईसीआई क्या कर सकता है, ये भी हम उसमें सोचे कि वहां पर अगर कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन को आता है तो उसके टैक्स क्रेडेंशियल्स को हम कैसे मैच कर सकते हैं, उसको कैसे हम ऑडिट करके और इन लोगों का ट्रांजैक्शन सुचारू रूप से हो रहा है क्या नहीं, ये हम वहां पे देंगे। और अगर किसी ने भी वहां पे कुछ इशू किया तो that PAN will be blocked, that Aadhaar will be blocked, he will not be able to do the business on the government platform, which will be also a public platform. हम भी जाके वहां पे माल खरीद सकते हैं, बेच सकते हैं, यानी अमेजोन पे हमको जाने की जरूरत नहीं। ये इंडिया, एंड द इंडिया इज द ओनली कंट्री टू डू दिस। वर्ल्ड में कहीं पे भी ऐसा नेटवर्क खड़ा नहीं किया गया है, और ऑलरेडी ट्रायल रन हो चुके हैं, एंड दे आर गोइंग टू डिक्लेयर इन द मंथ ऑफ जून जुलाई। तो पूरा बिजनेस का प्लेटफॉर्म चेंज होने जा रहा है आगे। सो वी आर वर्किंग हैंड टू हैंड विद दैट। रही बात रेरा की, रेरा के अंदर तो वो शब्द ही है रेयर, ये बहुत रेयर लॉ था पहले, अब ये जनरलाइज हो गया है। आदित्य ने भी बताया कि इससे आने वाले प्रोजेक्ट्स में बहुत बड़ी डेवलपमेंट हुई है, और इसी का फायदा जीएसटी में भी लिया जा रहा है, क्योंकि जीएसटी के अंदर सीधा लिंक कर दिया है रेरा से, जितनी भी डेफिनेशंस है तो उसमें कह दिया है कि एज पर रेरा, एज पर रेरा। नाउ both laws are going to hand, and whatever good thing happens in RERA will be reflected in GST also, क्योंकि बिल्डर एंड डेवलपर्स एक ऐसा एरिया है जहां पर लगातार कुछ ना कुछ लोचा होता ही है सर। सब ठीक चल रहा था सर, और जीएसटी में गुजरात हाईकोर्ट ने बोल दिया कि 1/3 लैंड डिडक्शन गलत है। अब आपको वैल्यू ऑफ प्लॉट, वैल्यू ऑफ लैंड का डिडक्शन एक्चुअल बेसिस पे मिलना चाहिए। तो जरा ठीक से बिल्डिंग बन रही थी, अचानक से चेंज आ गया प्लान में। अब इसका इफेक्ट जीएसटी का कितना बड़ा हो रहा है इस सेक्टर पे हम अंदाज नहीं लगा सकते। पहले लोगों ने जो कर लिया, आने वाले प्रोजेक्ट्स में आगे क्या होगा, और जो ऑनरेबल हाईकोर्ट के जज पारदीवाला सर जिन्होंने ये दिया है, वही अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी प्रमोट हो गए। तो लोग सोच रहे थे कि ये वहां पे जाके उल्टा हो जाएगा, यानी ये लॉ नहीं रहेगा, ये जो जीएसटी है सही है। तो दोनों स्कूल ऑफ थॉट्स अपनी अपनी बात कर रही। जीएसटी के कमिश्नर सर के साथ में जब हमारी बात हुई तो तब वो भी शॉक थे कि यार ये ऐसा कैसा हो गया। अब इसका एक वो जजमेंट अगर हम पढ़ेंगे मनीष भैया, तो उसमें एक पैरा है कि इन द केस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ प्लॉट द सिनेरियो विल बी डिफरेंट एंड देयर मे बी इंपैक्ट ऑफ जीएसटी। अब एआर गुजरात का आया कि डेवलप प्लॉट के ऊपर जीएसटी नहीं है लैंडलॉर्ड को, और लैंडलॉर्ड को तो लगना भी नहीं चाहिए, डेवलपर को लगना चाहिए। बट नाउ आफ्टर दिस जजमेंट ऑफ भट्ट इन द गुजरात हाई कोर्ट, अब ये वापस एक मुद्दा नया भूत खड़ा हो जाएगा सर कि डेवलप प्लॉट के ऊपर भी जीएसटी, लैंडलॉर्ड को भी लगेगा क्या। आस्पेक्ट थ्योरी, एलएनटी का जजमेंट पुराना सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कि एक ट्रांजैक्शन के 3 एस्पेक्ट है तो वो अलग अलग हो सकते हैं। बिल्डर के केस में सर्विसेज का एस्पेक्ट अलग है, गुड्स का एस्पेक्ट अलग है, लैंड का एस्पेक्ट अलग है, तीनों का वैल्यू करो और तीनों को टैक्स लगाओ। तो अब लैंड के अंदर जब प्लॉट डेवलप कर रहे हैं तो डेवलपमेंट चार्जेस अलग, लैंड वैल्यू अलग, और उस हिसाब से टैक्स लगाओ। तो हम फिर से सर हम ये मान रहे थे कि रेरा स्टेबलाइज नहीं हुआ है, जीएसटी हो गया है, बट वी आर इन कंपटीशन विद यू। जीएसटी को भी हमने अनस्टेबलाइज कर दिया है। नाउ द बिल्डर्स आर अगेन इन सूप, so we have to work together on the real estate project again, and the 5 minutes given to me are over. Thanks to all of you for your small break for me. क्योंकि बीच में ही हम आ गए ना। और जैसा प्रोजेक्ट्स के अंदर भी क्या होता है, जो हाई राइज बिल्डिंग रहती है ना, तो बीच में एक कॉमन स्पेस छोड़ना पड़ता है, रेफ्यूजी एरिया। तो वैसे हम रेफ्यूजी आ गए बीच में एज अ स्पीकर इन द सेशन ऑफ द रेरा, क्योंकि पहले दो तीन माले आदित्य ने खड़े कर दिए होंगे और हम बीच में आ गए। सो दैट्स अ रेफ्यूजी एरिया। थैंक्स टू मनीष भैया फॉर हिज गाइडेंस, फॉर हिज फ्रेंडशिप एंड फॉर हिज ब्रदरहुड, क्योंकि जिंदगी भर हमको ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं मिलेगा। थैंक्स जेबी नगर फॉर गिविंग सच अ ब्यूटीफुल कोहिनूर टू अस। हैट्स ऑफ टू यू सर। Thanks to WIRC, Shweta ma'am and Ketan bhai for beautiful work going on in WIRC. Lots of projects, lots of new conferences, lots of new ideas are happening. Internal audit का national conference अभी हुआ है, अब अपने को capital market का भी national conference लेना है। तो ये बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, गुड and friends, seniors, I am really proud of WIRC. सेंट्रल काउंसिल में पहली बार गया, छोटे गांव से गया, बहुत सारी चीजें पता नहीं थी, बट जो WIRC में सीखने को मिला वो आज वहां पर काम आ रहा है। और आवर रीजन इज द बेस्ट रीजन। वहां पर जब हम जाते हैं तो एक अलग ही नजर से अपने को देखा जाता है और हम भी ICI को एक अलग नजर से देखते हैं। एंड इट्स वेरी प्रोफेशनल, it's very cohesive and a good body to work there. थोड़े ups and downs रहते ही है, हर जगह कोहिनूर नहीं रह सकते, कहीं पे अमेरिकन डायमंड्स, कहीं पे और भी डायमंड्स हो सकते हैं। तो ऐसा वो नेकलेस बना हुआ है हमारा सेंट्रल काउंसिल का। But we are doing the best to serve the profession, and if you have any queries you can ask, you have any issues you can share with me. We are always available with you. Thank you and hats off to you people कि संडे के दिन भी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। मैंने मनीष भैया को यही पूछा, बोला मनीष भैया हर संडे कैसे आप लोग पढ़ाई करते हैं? बोले मेंबर्स आते हैं। So how you people balance your life between residential and commercial time, that is very big thing for me. It's rare for me क्योंकि जनरली हम अब देख रहे हैं कि ये बहुत कम समय हमको फैमिली में मिलता है, और बॉम्बे में तो वैसे भी कम मिलता है आप लोगों को, और फिर भी आप पढ़ाई लिखाई कर रहे हो। सो दिस इज द फाउंडेशन ऑफ आवर प्रोफेशन। वी लर्न एंड वी ग्रैब द अपॉर्चुनिटी, जो अपना गोल है, ग्रैब द अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड लर्न। यू आर लर्निंग ऑन संडे, सो लॉट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी विल कम टू यू। आई होप God will give you a healthy life and wealthy life. Thank you.
Simultaneously. Now, but we cannot break without felicitating our guests today. Truly speaking, actually today our Vice President C. Aniket Talati sir and our WIRC Chairman C. also join us, but because of some unexpected meeting, they may not join us. But today we have the representative. Secretary C. Shweta Jain and Vikas Chairman C. Ketan Bhai Saiya were representing our Chairman C. Murtuza Bhai Kajwala. So we thank the gems from both the sides. So thanks. Now it's a time to felicitate. So first our Central Council members, C. Umesh Bhai Sharma. So I would like to call upon our own member C. N. Jain sir to felicitate C. Umesh Bhai Sharma. And I would like to also call upon Manish Bhai Garia. Today he was the Sarthi of our Umesh Bhai. We went to airport. We picked up Umesh Bhai.
उमेश भैया को शांति की जरूरत नहीं है, और एक कृष्णा, बिकॉज अगर आपने talk about Krishna and Arjun. Call him Krishna, and Krishna is the Sati.
Secretary Shweta Madam. I would like to call upon our own Deputy Convener, CFO Bagheera. And I would like to invite our chief, also past convener and corporate members, Chintan Bhai. Now it's a time to felicitate our Vikas Chairman Sri Ketan Bhai Sayya and our by Chintan Bhai, our past convener Krishna sir, and Mahavir Jain sir again to begin join us. Now we'll break for the breakfast and we request Shweta Madam, Ketan Bhai, Umesh Bhai to please join us for the breakfast. And we have break for the only 15-20 minutes because we have paused our era discussion.
मैं उसको नवनाथ को फोटोज भेजता हूँ साइज दीजिए हाँ मैंने चल थैंक यू और मैं वापस आता हूँ ब्रेक के बाद हाँ सर फिर तेरे को देता हूँ ठीक है चलिए